some people move through their careers with a strange liquid momentum, reaching significant milestones, while others work 12-hour days only to stay where they started. We often treat burnout as a badge of honor. In reality, most of our effort relies on a fraction of our mental capacity, leaving the most efficient internal systems completely offline. This unused potential is often described as the superconscious mind, a deep psychological layer that bridges the gap between abstract intention and physical action. It serves as a biological processing center, where thoughts are translated into the specific energy required to navigate reality. Notable innovators throughout history accessed this state to pull complex ideas into the physical world. Albert Einstein spent years visualizing a clock tower and a beam of light, experiencing the sensations of physics before committing an equation to paper. Nikola Tesla utilized this same mental architecture. He visualized his inventions with such clarity that he could run machinery in his mind to check for wear and tear before ever building a physical prototype. These leaps in progress happened by waking up that dormant mental energy. Achievement is dictated by the psychological depth from which you operate. We believe an external event, like securing a job, has to happen first to trigger an internal emotion, like joy. But psychology works in reverse. Notice how the arrows flip. Your external circumstances are a reaction to your internal consciousness. This exposes the danger of wanting. The act of desperately wishing for something broadcasts a continuous frequency of lack and fear to your nervous system. The superconscious mind processes emotion rather than specific words. So when you think, "I want to be successful," your brain translates that as an admission of current failure. It takes that input and cements your current reality. To change your external output, you have to stop operating from a mindset of deficit and shift to a state of pre-existing abundance. This brings us to the law of assumption. This principle states that you must believe a reality is true internally before it can take shape externally. There is a biological foundation for this. The human brain struggles to differentiate between a physical event happening in real life and a vividly, emotionally felt visualization. Michael Phelps used this mechanic. Before every race, he would mentally swim every stroke, anticipating the turns and pre-winning the gold in his mind, until his nervous system accepted it as a physical memory. Years before he found professional success, a struggling Jim Carrey wrote himself a $10 million check for acting services rendered. He assumed the identity of a professional long before he had the bank account to match it. Of course, there is a primary obstacle to doing this: the inner critic. That's the internal voice built from past failures and societal pressures that constantly whispers doubt. You have to realize that this critical voice is not your true identity. It is a shadow of old programming, and it only survives if you silently accept it. Visualization is the act of issuing neural commands that override the inner critic, forcing your brain to hunt for opportunities that match your new identity. To see what identity shifting looks like in everyday practice, think about a restaurant. Once you place your order and hand the menu back, you don't panic. You don't run into the kitchen to supervise the chef. Instead, you sit there in calm certainty. Yet, look at how we treat our life ambitions. We act frantic. We get anxious and constantly scan our environment for evidence that our dreams are finally arriving. That desperate energy creates a vibration of doubt. It tells your brain you don't actually believe the order is coming, which actively stalls the manifestation of your goals. True identity shifting requires you to adapt your body language, your daily decision-making, and your speech to match the version of you who has already received what was ordered. Surrendering to your goal with calm confidence, knowing the result is secured, is the energetic state required to pull resources toward you. The most immediate tool to tune your brain's frequency away from desperation is preemptive gratitude. Giving thanks for a desired outcome before it physically arrives dissolves fear. It anchors you in a state of abundance. This habit of active gratitude is a consistent thread among those who have built expansive, multi-decade careers, such as Oprah Winfrey. This process relies on neuroplasticity. As you can see here, the brain physically creates new structural pathways based on your repeated thought patterns. To physically rewire these pathways, you have to practice daily positive repetition. You have to act like a farmer who continually tends to their seeds, knowing the crop will grow. The requirements for this transformation are simple. Spend 5 minutes a day in focused, quiet visualization. And when negative thoughts arise, consciously replace them with affirmations of your capability. The idea that you get exactly what you think about is not magic, it is biological reality. The external world is a mirror. The moment you stop chasing the future and start living the emotional reality of your success today, the world has no choice but to catch up.